question would be, they would give you some expression and they would say expand this expression and simplify it by collecting like terms. So this just means add up what you can add up or subtract what you can subtract and simplify it as much as we can. So what they mean by this, if we look at this example we've got here, we have got to add what we can. Okay, so remember, if it's an x, I know everyone always says apples and oranges, that's one type of term, so x's. So I can add this x and I can add this x. So I've got to make sure that it's got, the important thing is the same exponent. Okay, so here both of these have an exponent of 1, although it's not drawn. So we can say x plus 3x is going to give me 4x, because you imagine you can put a 1 there actually, it doesn't make a difference if you write it or not. So next up, this is how I go through. So I just underline the terms that are the same or color them in the same color. So let's add up all the y's next. Okay, so I've got 1y take away 2y. So 1 take away 2 is negative 1y. Or you don't have to write that one, you could just write y. And then finally, I've got my x squared. So x squared plus 2x squared is 3x squared. Okay, that's why they're just trying to trick you. So you just got to make sure you can't add x's and x squared. You can't add them up. Okay, even though they're both x, it's different because of that exponent. So this is a really basic example, something you would do maybe in grade 8, grade 9. We are going to jump into some of the more complicated ones you can expect in grade 10. Okay, expand and simplify the following. Okay, first of all we're going to do is we're going to do the expanding. So expanding means multiply everything, so we get rid of these brackets. So we are going to go 2 times x3 is 2x3. 2 times 5x squared. So 2 times 5 is 10 x squared. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6x. And then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Then the next bracket we do the same thing. So minus 4. Just remember you've got to include this minus now. So minus 4 times 2 is minus 8. And then we've got x and x squared. So that becomes x cubed. Okay, remember, you can imagine there's a little 1 there. So a 1 and a 2 makes a 3. And then minus 4x times 1 is going to be minus 4x. So that is all of our expanding done. Now we have to do simplifying. So I'm going to go through and highlight everything that's the same so I can add them up. So let's start with the x cubes. So I've got 2x cubed here and minus 8x cubed there. Remember, always include the sign, that's so important. So 2 take away 8 means I'm going to be left with negative 6x cubed. Let's go to another color. Next, I've got 10x squared. Let's see if I've got any other x squared. That's all I've got there, so I just have to rewrite that one actually. So 10x squared. Next of all, I've got, let's just do the x's. So I've got minus 6x. Remember that sign in front. And minus 4x. Okay, minus 6, take away another 4 is going to be minus 10x. And then finally, I've just got this minus 4 that's left over by itself. So this is our final answer once we have expanded everything and we have simplified, so we've added what we can. What's pretty good practice is to write it like this, so in descending order of the exponent. So we've got the biggest exponent first, then the next one, then the next one. So that's just good practice, although it's not wrong if you write it in a different order. Let's look at another one. Okay, so same thing, expand and simplify. So let's do the brackets first. I'm just going to rewrite this. So remember, when we have brackets like this, let's just rewrite this whole thing quick. Okay, because I'm squaring these brackets the other way of writing it. If I was squaring brackets, I can just write the brackets twice instead. So I can just write it like that. So that's going to help me with my expanding. Because sometimes you forget to do all the multiplication if you leave it in this form up here. Okay, let's have a go at this one then. So let's just do the expanding. I'll get to the numbers in front. So I'm going to leave this minus 3 for now. Let's just do the expanding. So x times x is x squared. I'm just going to leave it in a big bracket because I've still got that minus 3. x times 7 is 7x. Minus 2 times x is minus 2x. And minus 2 times 7 is minus 14. Okay, remember, so we always have to multiply every term by every other term. We do the same for the next one. I'm going to leave this minus 2x squared for now and just do what's in the brackets. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 1 is minus 1x, or just minus x. Minus 1 times x is minus x. And minus 1 times a minus 1 makes a positive 1. Okay, so I've done some of the expanding. Now I just need to multiply these numbers in front out. So then I can say minus 3 times x squared is minus 3x squared. Minus 3 times 7 is minus 21x. Minus 3 times minus 2 is minus 6x. Minus 3 times minus 14. Let's just work that out. So it's 14, 28, 28 add 10, it's 38, so 42. Okay, so it's a minus and a minus, so it's positive 42. Then the next bracket, we've got minus 2x squared times this, so that's going to be minus 2x4. Minus 2x times that, so that's going to be positive 2x cubed. And again, positive 2x cubed. And then finally, minus 2x squared. Okay, so that is all of our expanding done. Now we're going to go through and try add up what we can. So first of all, let's do all of our, let's see, what's our biggest exponent? X4. Okay, so that is just for good practice, we're going to put this one first. Okay, so first of all, our biggest exponent is minus 2x4. I don't have anything I can add that to. Okay, there's no other x4s. So next, let's do the x3s. So I've got plus 2x3 plus 2x3. So that's going to be in total 4x3. Next up, let's have a look at our x squared. So I've got 3x squared here, minus 3x squared, sorry. And minus 2x squared. So minus 3 minus 2 means I'm going to end up with minus 5x squared. Next, we can just do the x's. So I've got negative 21x, negative 6x. Yep, that is all my x's. So minus 21 minus another 6 is minus 27x. And then finally, I've got just this 42 left over, so I can just add that on at the end. Okay, and that is all of our expanding and all of our simplifying done. And just for good practice, remember we've done it in descending order. So we've got the biggest exponent. So we've got 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and then nothing. Okay, that's just good practice. Okay, one more of these just to get a proper feel for all of these. Okay, so last one is this one. Again, just going to go through, first of all, expand and then simplify. So 3c times c squared is going to be 3c3. 3c times minus c is going to be minus 3c squared. And 3c times 1 is just going to be 3c. Next up, minus 2d times c squared is minus 2c squared d. Minus 2d times minus c is minus 2cd. It doesn't matter what order, we usually just do it in alphabetical order, so that's why I'm putting the c first. And then minus 2d times 1 is minus 2d. Okay, and then we've got this whole bracket. So I'm just going to put a minus, and then I'm going to put the bracket with everything multiplied out. I don't know if I'm going to have enough space here. Let's try 2c minus 2c is going to be 4, or minus 4c cubed. 2c times c is going to be 2c squared. 2c times minus 4 is going to be minus 8c. D times minus 2c is minus 2c squared d. D times C is CD. Okay, wait, let's just get some space. Okay, I'm just going to write it up here just so we have it, CD. And then last of all, minus 4 times D is minus 4D. Okay, I'll try right so we can get all of this fit in now. Okay, so we've done our expanding. What we still need to do is we need to multiply this bracket. We need to multiply everything by that minus. So let's just rewrite everything here. We've got 3C3 minus 3C squared plus 3C minus 2C squared D minus 2CD minus 2D. And now we just multiply everything in this bracket by the minus. It's really important with these signs. So if there's a minus like that, you have to change everything inside. So because of the minus, it just changes all the signs inside. So minus 4C3, that's going to be positive 4C3. This one is going to be negative 2C squared. We're going to have then positive 8C, positive 2C squared D, negative CD, and then positive 4D. Okay, that is all of our expanding done, and now we can get to the adding part, or the simplifying part. So let's just add. Let's start with our biggest exponent. Our biggest exponent is C3. So let's just check all the ones that have C3. Okay, so we've got 3C plus 4C. So we've got 7C3. Next up, let's do the C squared. So just C squared by itself. So minus 3C squared. We can't do this one because it's got a D attached to it. We can do this one, minus 2C squared. Okay, so we've got minus 3, minus 2, so minus 5C squared. Next up, let's see, we've got, we can do the C squared D terms. Okay, that gives us minus 2C squared D plus 2C, so those are going to cancel. Next up, let's just do the C terms. So 3C plus 8C. Okay, so 3C plus 8C is going to be 11C. Then we can do, let's do just the D terms. So I've got minus 2D and plus 4D. So minus 2 plus 4 is going to be plus 2D. Then we are going to have the CD terms. So minus 2CD minus CD. So that's going to be minus 3CD. And then our last thing is this. Oh, we've already, yeah, that's everything. Okay, so this is our final simplified one. This one is kind of scary because of all the CDs. You've just got to make sure, like, if you have a CD term, it's not the same as a C squared D term, and it's not the same as just a C squared term. So these are all different. Okay, that is our final one. I hope this made sense.